Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India NewsHour, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour, PM Modi to inaugurate Phase 1 of Navi Mumbai International Airport. Will also launch final phase of Mumbai Metro Line 3 and other infra projects. PM Modi inaugurates 9th edition of India Mobile Congress in New Delhi. Hails nation's digital progress, asserts India's mobile sector, symbol of self-reliant India. UK PM Keir Starmer arrives in India with biggest trade delegation to meet PM Modi in Mumbai. Both leaders to attend Global Fintech Fest 2025. Bharat proudly celebrates the valor and courage of its air warriors on Air Force Day today. PM Modi extends greetings, hails Indian Air Force for its bravery, discipline and precision. In a major infrastructure boost to Maharashtra, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch various projects in Mumbai on Wednesday. In line with his vision of transforming India into a global aviation hub, Prime Minister will inaugurate the Phase 1 of Navi Mumbai International Airport. The Navi Mumbai International Airport is India's largest greenfield airport project developed under a public-private partnership. As the second international airport for the Mumbai metropolitan region, Navi Mumbai International Airport will work in tandem with Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport to ease congestion and elevate Mumbai into the league of global multi-airport systems. The airport will eventually handle 90 million passengers annually and 3.25 million metric tons of cargo. Navi Mumbai International Airport will have an automated people mover system to connect all 4 terminals for easy transfers, along with a separate APM linking city side areas. The airport will include storage for sustainable aviation fuel, generate about 47 megawatt of solar power and provide electric bus service for city travel. It will also be India's first airport connected by water taxi. In a landmark moment for India's aviation sector, Navi Mumbai International Airport promises to elevate chronic congestion at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport while positioning Mumbai alongside global hubs like London, New York and Dubai. DD India correspondent Shishir Telar spoke to CEO of the Navi Mumbai International Airport ahead of the inauguration.
Country's financial capital, Mumbai, is going to get another important and the biggest airport. Not in the country, but probably we can say in the Asia Pacific region. But how this particular Navi Mumbai International Airport will change a game? Prime Minister have actually laid the foundation stone of this particular airport, and now he is only inaugurated this airport. To get more information on this, right now we have with us CEO of Navi Mumbai International Airport, Captain Sharma. So first of all, congratulations that we've seen that one of the important and the biggest airport probably of the country, that Prime Minister will be inaugurating. How important this particular project is for the region of, development of this entire region?
We will be the biggest going forward. Right now, we are starting with a 20 million and passenger, and when we saturate, our design will be 90 million, but probably we can handle even 100 million passengers. At that time, as of now, we will be the biggest, but we will be the biggest in the smallest space of 1160 hectares.
So we have 2 important projects nearby Mumbai, the port also and the airport also. As far as the cargo terminal handling is concerned, how you see the development going forward?
India is now making mark in cargo as well. And if we make most modern cargo terminal, the freighters would start coming. Envisaging that, we have put 11 specific freighter stands. So the large cargo freighters who bring 100 tons and more would come. And it's very natural that JNPT port is there, and the Virar corridor and Delhi corridors are coming on the east side. So there will be superb connectivity. Next is to connect them through the smart movement of vehicles, faster movement of cargo.
All right, thank you for talking to us. Well, that was Captain Sharma, who's actually giving all the details of how this Navi Mumbai International Airport will change the entire scenario in this region and will also boost economic activity as well. Shirshila for DD India, Mumbai.
In Mumbai, PM Modi will also inaugurate Mumbai's much-anticipated Metro Line 3. The Aqua Line is set to become fully operational, marking a major milestone in the city's transport infrastructure. The 33.5-kilometer corridor, developed by the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation Limited at an estimated cost of 37,276 crore rupees. It will be Mumbai's first fully underground metro line and one of the city's most ambitious urban projects to date.
Connecting the southern business district of Cuff Parade with the northern suburbs of Seeps and Array, the Aqua Line comprises 26 underground stations and one at-grade station. The new stretch adds 11 key stations including Cuff Parade, Churchgate, Hutatma Chowk, CSMT, Girgaon and Mumbai Central, linking South Mumbai's business hubs, residential areas and heritage precincts. Once fully integrated with Mumbai's expanding metro network, the line is expected to serve nearly 15 lakh passengers daily, significantly reducing travel time across the city.
If you look at the entire project which is now getting completed, and once the entire connectivity to this project is completed, almost 13 lakh passengers will travel on it per day. But to begin with, that number won't be there. Slowly it will get built up. There will be substantial reduction in the travel time from Cup Parade to the last station, which is RAJVLR. You can travel just in 50 minutes. So that's a substantial reduction in travel time if you go by route.
Construction of the southern stretch posed considerable challenges due to South Mumbai's narrow roads, dense urban fabric and proximity to heritage structures. Despite these hurdles, the project represents a major step toward easing congestion and modernizing Mumbai's public transport network.
This particular section which is getting inaugurated day after, that actually provides connectivity to the heritage district of Mumbai, and it is passing through areas like Girgaon, Kalbadevi, Grant Road, which are very thickly populated. So this one line which provides very deep connectivity to South Mumbai, which is the peninsular part of the city, which otherwise has no that way public transport connectivity, it is now being provided by this line.
Mumbai commuters have welcomed the launch of the Aqua Line, saying it will greatly ease daily travel and offer a faster, more comfortable alternative to road congestion. The commute from Cuff Parade to the domestic airport will take just 45 minutes.
कफ परेड से लेके अपने महालक्ष्मी तक लोगों की वक्त को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो महाराष्ट्र सरकार ने जो ये नया कदम उठाया, जिससे नया डेवलपमेंट किया है, ये सराहनीय है।
सबके अच्छे के लिए ही है। जो अंडरग्राउंड जो पहले जो महालक्ष्मी अपना गिरगा वगैरह जो स्टेशन पे नहीं ट्रेनें जब नहीं रोक रही थी, अभी हमारे लिए बहुत सहूलियत की बात है।
मेट्रो की सुविधा हो गई है, अंडरग्राउंड से पूरी हो गई है, तो उसके वजह से एयरपोर्ट जाने के लिए काफ़ी इजी हो गया है। तो 1 घंटे के अंदर हम यहाँ से एयरपोर्ट पहुँच सकते हैं।
Designed with commuter comfort in mind, the Aqua Line offers women-only coaches, priority seating for senior citizens and persons with disabilities, as well as advanced CCTV surveillance for enhanced safety.
Mumbai is getting redefined, and commuters, passengers of all strata of societies will have an option now to leave their four-wheelers and travel smoothly in a more convenient way, and leaving the city more air to breathe. With camera person Aditya Kasare, this is Shyama Mishra for DD India, Mumbai.
All right, and my colleague Shishir Selar is joining me live from Mumbai. Hi Shishir. Maharashtra all set for major infrastructure boost. Shishir, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating the phase 1 of Navi Mumbai International Airport. Also will be inaugurating the final phase of Mumbai Metro Line 3. First, talk to us about this airport, Shishir. Something special you've seen.
Well, absolutely. Well, talking about today's day is quite important one. for the people of Mumbai. Because two big projects that Mumbaikers are eagerly waiting since last so many years. Now Prime Minister will be dedicating that to the people. The first, of course, the Navi Mumbai International Airport, as you rightly said, we've just seen the report that how big Navi Mumbai Airport is going to be in next future. Because today we'll see the first phase will start its operation, and probably what we are anticipating is that by end of this year, probably once or maybe when the first phase fully rolled out, we'll see almost 20 million passengers will be traveling from the Navi Mumbai International Airport. And once it's fully completed in the next few years, then probably we may see that the traffic of passengers will reach to almost 90 million per year. You can imagine how humongous traffic probably this particular airport going to experience in future. But it's not just about the passenger traffic. We've also seen that the cargo handling capacity will also enhance of this region. And that's the reason what we are getting from the detail is that nearly 3.25 million metric ton of the cargo handling capacity will be increased, and that's quite a landmark kind of numbers that we'll see will give boost for the business development activity in this entire region. Now let me tell you one more thing to add on this year, because just last year we have seen that the Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone for the Asia's biggest port, that is Vadhavan port in Mumbai, just nearby Mumbai.
Okay.
And now we are seeing that Prime Minister is inaugurating the biggest international airport near Mumbai. So these two important connecting hub for the Mumbai is quite important one as far as the global destinations are concerned. Now this particular, if you look at this Navi Mumbai International Airport, actually on one hand we have big airports in Singapore. On the other hand, in the eastern side we have big airports in UAE, in Dubai. So obviously to compete with these kind of mega structures, even country like India also need this kind of infrastructure. And that's the reason Prime Minister has actually given quite a thrust on the development of the infrastructure. And that's the reason both these projects, actually Prime Minister have laid the foundation stone of this project, and in a very record time we have seen that the both projects have been completed here and will be dedicated to the people here. As far as the international tourists are concerned, international activities are concerned, through the Navi Mumbai International Airport, now we're going to see that the business activity will definitely get boosted up, but the local residents will also get benefited from this airport. And that's the reason the local job opportunities will increase in this entire region. Well, that is a major thrust given to it. Apart from that, this particular project is one of the greenfield project here, because when we talk about this kind of mega project, people may say that sometimes we may actually don't give attention to the environment hazards. But looking at this particular airport, this one is a greenfield project, and that's the reason, be it rainwater harvesting or natural sunlight probably used in the entire airport, less energy consumption. These are the important aspects that have been taken care of while making this project.
Definitely. Shishir, PM Modi will also inaugurate the final phase of Mumbai Metro Line 3, and if I'm not wrong, you are standing there right now. Is it so?
Absolutely. Well, let me show you the first glimpse of how Mumbai Metro look like. I will tell my camera person to show some of the glimpses here, that the metro is actually right now, it's already ready here, and probably when Prime Minister will press the button, the Mumbai Metro, especially the Mumbai Metro 2B line will start its operation. Now, why this particular line is important, you've just seen the report. This particular region, the South Mumbai region, is densely populated. Okay. And to reach to these areas, because there are a lot of offices are situated in South Mumbai region. And if you have to come from suburban Mumbai or many other parts of Mumbai to South Mumbai, it takes few hours to reach. If you have own car, it takes almost 1 hour to reach. And even if you use public transport, you get stuck in a lot of heavy traffic during peak hours. And that's the reason the metro is probably one of the answer that we Mumbaikars specifically going to get it. Because in just few minutes, you will reach your destination without any hassle.
Indeed.
Seamless travel, connectivity has been provided, world-class facilities has been given in this metro station. Safety is a major concern. I'm talking about safety is because this entire stretch, which Prime Minister will be inaugurating today, is the underground metro that Mumbaikars are seeing for the first time. And the entire stretch is almost 33 kilometers. You can imagine that a city, bustling city like Mumbai, to work on this kind of metro is quite a challenging task for the engineers. but we have seen that the metro work is almost completed of 2B, and in near future probably we'll see that the best connected metro, which will take you from one place to another destination in just few hours without any hassle, and probably we can say that multiple mode of transport no need to change to it.
Okay, Shishir, we leave it there. Thank you so much. Prime Minister Modi will also launch Mumbai One integrated common mobility app for 11 public transport operators across metro, monorail, suburban railways and bus public transport operators. Mumbai One app offers commuters a range of benefits, including integrated mobile ticketing across multiple public transport operators, elimination of queuing and seamless multimodal connectivity. It also provides real-time journey updates on delays, alternative routes and estimated arrival times, along with map-based information on nearby stations, attractions and points of interest, and an SOS feature to ensure commuter safety. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. Communications Minister hails India's journey from technology taker to the digital flag bearer of the world. Bilaspur bus accident claimed 16 lives. President, Vice President, PM Modi expressed grief. Holy Indian city of Ayodhya all set to celebrate Deepotsav 2025 with over 2.6 million diyas to be lit along the Saryu River.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated the India Mobile Congress 2025 at New Delhi's Yashobhoomi Convention Centre, marking the beginning of one of Asia's largest technology and innovation gatherings. 4-day event is being organized under the theme Innovate to Transform, highlighting India's commitment to leveraging innovation for digital transformation and societal progress. IMC 2025 is showcasing latest advancements in telecom and emerging technologies, bringing together global leaders, policymakers, industry experts and innovators. More than 1.5 lakh visitors from over 150 countries, 7,000 plus global delegates and 400 plus companies are participating. Over 1,600 new use cases across areas such as 5G, 6G, AI, smart mobility, cyber security, quantum computing and green technology are being showcased. IMC 2025 also underscores international collaboration with delegates from Japan, Canada, the United Kingdom, Russia, Ireland and Austria participating in the event. Earlier, addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the efforts of the government to combat the risk of cyber security threats in the country.
आज हम देश में साइबर सिक्योरिटी को भी उतनी ही प्राथमिकता दे रहे हैं। साइबर फ्रॉड्स के खिलाफ कानून सख्त किए गए हैं और अकाउंटेबिलिटी भी बढ़ाई है और ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेसल के मैकेनिज्म को भी बेहतर किया गया है। इंडस्ट्री और कंज्यूमर्स दोनों को इसका बहुत बड़ा लाभ मिल रहा है। फ्रेंड्स, आज पूरा विश्व भारत के पोटेंशियल को रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहा है। दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा टेलीकॉम मार्केट हमारे पास है। दूसरा सबसे बड़ा 5G मार्केट यहाँ है और मार्केट के साथ ही हमारे पास मैन पावर भी है, मोबिलिटी भी है और माइंडसेट भी है।
PM said that India recently launched its Made in India 4G stack, marking a major indigenous achievement and a significant step towards digital self-reliance.
कुछ दिन पहले ही भारत ने अपना मेड इन इंडिया 4G स्टैक लॉन्च किया है। ये देश की बड़ी स्वदेशी उपलब्धि है। अब भारत दुनिया के उन 5 देशों की लिस्ट में आ गया है जिनके पास ये सामर्थ्य है। ये डिजिटल सेल्फ रिलायंस की दिशा में, टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंडिपेंडेंस की दिशा में देश का एक बड़ा कदम है। इंडिजिनियस 4G एंड 5G स्टैक के जरिए हम न केवल सीमलेस कनेक्टिविटी को सुनिश्चित कर पाएंगे, बल्कि देशवासियों को तेज इंटरनेट और रिलायबल सर्विसेज भी दे पाएंगे।
Prime Minister emphasized that the India Mobile Congress has evolved beyond mobile and telecom, emerging within a few years as Asia's largest digital technology forum.
IMC की ये सक्सेस स्टोरी कैसे लिखी गई, इसे किसने ड्राइव किया है? साथियों, इस सक्सेस स्टोरी को लिखा है भारत के टैक्स सेवी माइंडसेट ने। इसे लीड किया है हमारे युवाओं ने, भारत के टैलेंट ने। इसे गति दी है हमारे इनोवेटर्स ने, हमारे स्टार्टअप्स ने। और इसलिए ये मुमकिन हो पाया है क्योंकि आज सरकार देश की प्रतिभा और क्षमता के साथ पूरी ताकत से खड़ी है।
Prime Minister Modi urged attention to global supply chain disruptions across technology ecosystem, stating that wherever global bottlenecks exists, India has the opportunity to offer solutions.
हमें देखना होगा कि ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन में कहाँ रुकावटें आ रही हैं। मोबाइल, टेलीकॉम, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और पूरे टेक्नोलॉजी इकोसिस्टम में जहाँ भी ग्लोबल बॉटलनेक्स हैं, वहाँ भारत के पास दुनिया को सॉल्यूशन देने का मौका है। उदाहरण के लिए हमने पहचान की सेमीकंडक्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की कैपेसिटी अब कुछ गिने चुने देशों तक सीमित थी और पूरी दुनिया डाइवर्सिफिकेशन चाहती थी। आज भारत ने इस दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाया है। भारत में 10 सेमीकंडक्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स पर काम हो रहा है।
Speaking at the event, Union Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said that India has transformed from technology taker to the digital flag bearer of the world.
India today has become the digital flag bearer of the world. Our mobile data costs have fallen in the last 11 years by 98%. There was a time when a single minute of voice was a luxury, access was an aspiration. But today India is home to 20% of the world's mobile population, 1.2 billion subscribers. We have grown from 60 million internet broadband users in 2014 under Prime Minister's vision to 944 million broadband subscribers today.
Air Force Air Chief Marshal AP Singh said Indian Air Warriors have made history in every era, and Operation Sindoor is a shining example of what can be achieved through meticulous planning, disciplined training and determined execution.
Witness the soaring symbol of India's resolve, the Mitch formation, trooping the national flag, Indian Air Force.
Air Chief was speaking at the Indian Air Base, where the Indian Air Force is celebrating its 93rd Air Force Day on Wednesday, marking nearly a century of service and discipline. Air Force Chief inspected the Guard of Honor and took salute. Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh praised how the air warriors have created history in every era, such as in 1948, 1971 and 1999 wars, and the destruction of terrorists in Balakot and their prowess in Operation Sindoor.
Our performance in Operation Sindoor fills us with professional pride. We proved to the world how air power can be effectively used in shaping military outcomes in just a few days. India's bold and precise attacks restored the rightful place of offensive air action in the national consciousness. Our robust air defense architecture and offensive employment of long-range surface-to-air missile systems limited the adversary's freedom to operate and ensured safety of our vital assets. The outstanding performance of indigenously developed and integrated weapons, which delivered precise and devastating blows deep inside enemy territory, vindicates our faith in homegrown capabilities. Operation Sindoor is a shining example of what can be achieved through meticulous planning, disciplined training, and determined execution.
The celebrations included a grand parade, flypasts and demonstrations of India's advanced air capabilities. Air warriors also carried out a march past at Indian Air Base as part of Air Force Day celebrations. This year's celebrations place a strong emphasis on Operation Sindoor, the Indian Air Force's response to Pakistan-based terrorist infrastructure following the Pahalgam attack in April. All right, and DD India's Nandita Daga joins us live from New Delhi. Hi, Nandita. We celebrate, we honor the courage and valor of our air warriors on October 8. You were covering the event, Nandita, today. Did you notice something special there?
Yeah, every year is special, Siddharth, because every year there are some displays of whatever has happened in the past year, and we know what has happened in the past year. To say that would be actually stating the obvious. We've had Operation Sindoor,
yes,
where our Air Force has actually proven to be such a decisive, punitive role towards Pakistan that it came begging on its knees for a ceasefire. It came to the negotiating table, it begged for a ceasefire, came down to its knees because of this punitive air superiority that our Air Force actually enjoyed in this conflict. New additions are always displayed. This time there was vintage aircrafts, the Harvards and the Tiger Moths, which were part of our Air Force, and they flew in our fleet in the 50s and 60s. They were there. Of course, there was no fly past of the current assets, but we can understand there could be reasons of these assets being deployed. The Air Force's chief's speech, of course, was very emphatic and very strident, strong comments coming from him that the Air Force is undoubtedly proven to be a game changer, and in the current geopolitical situation, this air power is something that we need not underestimate anymore. And it was in Operation Sindoor where, on the first day of Operation Sindoor, Siddharth, Muridki and Bahawalpur, they are more than 100 kilometers away from our international boundary, and you know that how our Air Force struck deep inside Pakistan. So Pakistanis can run, they can not hide, they cannot run anywhere. As you know that the reach, the standoff weapons that the Air Force had deployed for Operation Sindoor, not just on the first night. Just remember, Siddharth, on the last night, 7th, 9th to 10th, their air bases, the Chaklala air base, which is just 10 kilometers from the Rawalpindi military headquarters of the Pakistani military, 10 kilometers right under its nose, its command and control system completely pulverized, disabled. Look at Rahim Yar Khan in Sargodha. They were hit so hard that their runways were cratered. The Pakistani Air Force was rendered blind. It was rendered so vulnerable. The Indian Air Force had a free rein. It struck wherever it wanted, whenever it wanted. So you can just imagine the kind of dominance, air dominance that we as through our Air Force enjoyed. And when our Prime Minister says it's the new normal, this is the new normal.
Indeed,
Siddharth?
indeed, Anandita, I agree with you. And we have had this discussion like many a times that this is the era of modern warfare. Talk to us about India's air prowess, Nandita, and how it is advancing.
Siddharth, lots of new assets coming in. It's a very exciting time for us Indians. Not just modernization, but modernization through self-reliance. Make in India, Swadeshi, vocal for local, our own designed, developed, built in India platforms. We know that in the next 10 years, as our Prime Minister in the month of May had given, the Prime Minister-led Cabinet Committee on Security had given its approval for the AMCA, AMCA, that is the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. It will be India's very own 5th generation aircraft. When I say 5th generation, what does that mean? That means it's a stealth aircraft, armed with its radar cross section, its hull, its weapons, sensors, its signature, heat signature. Everything is such minimal that the enemy will not be able to detect it on its radar. And India will join that elite club. You know that there are only 3 operators of 5th generation aircrafts in the world currently. One is the Americans, that is USA, which operate the F-35. You know it's the Russians, which operate the Su-57, and it's the Chinese with the JF series aircrafts. So Pakistan also is acquiring that, but then Siddharth is the man behind the machine. How do our air warriors, the kind of job they've done in Sindoor, our Air Force, as our Air Chief has said, it is Abhed, Achuk and Satik. Now to translate that into English for our international audience, it means it cannot be penetrated, it is never failing, it never fails, and of course it is very, very precise. Look at those hits that we carried out on these air bases such as Bholari, as well as the air defense systems that we targeted. Very, very precise hits. And this not just India speaking. Look at the internationally available commercial satellite imagery, which will bear me out. And the Pakistani themselves were posting about it on these photos and videos. They were disseminating it themselves. So it's not just India saying. Our Air Force Chief in just 3 days back in his press conference had revealed that we had struck down at least 8 to 10 F-16s. Now that is a big deal, Siddharth, because F-16 is a 4th generation, a very, very advanced high-tech platform. And if you bring those down, either on the ground as they were sitting ducks in Jacobabad, or if they were in the air, it's a very, very big deal. And you can clearly say that our Air Force had a very, very clear-cut and emphatic victory.
Okay, wonderful analysis there, Nandita. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. The UK PM arrives in India. We will discuss in detail the growing partnership between the two countries. Outgoing French PM Le Cornu says fresh elections less likely as parties show will to pass budget.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer landed in Mumbai this morning, marking the start of his first visit to India since taking over as British Prime Minister in 2024. Keir Starmer arrived at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Maharashtra's Mumbai. He was received by Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, Deputy CMs Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar, and Maharashtra Governor Acharya Devvrat. He is accompanied by a 125-member business delegation, which includes CEOs and representatives from British institutes, universities and industry groups. That 125-strong delegation marks the largest ever government trade mission to India. The UK PM's visit seeks to build on the momentum from the UK-India trade deal signed in July, which will lower tariffs and open up access for British businesses to one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with the visiting UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, will also participate in the 6th edition of the Global Fintech Fest at Geo World Centre in Mumbai on Thursday and deliver keynote addresses on the occasion. Global Fintech Fest 2025 will bring together innovators, policymakers, central bankers, regulators, investors, academicians and industry leaders from around the world. The conference's central theme, Empowering Finance for a Better World, powered by AI, augmented intelligence, innovation and inclusion, highlights the convergence of technology and human insight in shaping an ethical and sustainable financial future. This year's edition is expected to attract a footfall of over 100,000 participants from more than 75 countries, making it one of the world's largest fintech gatherings. Their participation underscores Global Fintech Fest's growing stature as a global forum for financial policy dialogue and cooperation. The two leaders will also review progress under the India-UK Comprehensive Strategic Partnership and the Vision 2030 roadmap, focusing on trade and investment, technology and innovation, defense and security, climate and energy, health, education and people-to-people relations. The pair will also discuss the India-UK Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement as a pillar of economic cooperation, exchange views on regional and global issues, and engage with industry experts, policymakers and innovators. Ahead of his visit, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer released a statement saying that UK signed a major trade deal with India in July, the best secured by any country, but the story doesn't stop there, adding that it's not just a piece of paper, it's a launchpad for growth. With India set to be the third biggest economy in the world by 2028 and trade with them about to become quicker and cheaper, the opportunities waiting to be seized are unparalleled. Adding that he'll be flying the flag for British business alongside 125 of their biggest household names in Mumbai this week, because growth in India for them means more choice, opportunity and jobs at home for the British people. And joining me on the broadcast today is Professor Gulshan Sachdeva, School of International Studies, JNU. Sir, a very warm welcome to DD India NewsHour. Now, I'll begin by the statement by UK PM. He said, "We signed a major trade deal with India in July, the best secured by any country, but the story doesn't stop there." How do you react to this, sir?
Well, that's true because, I think this deal is a game changer. In a way, I mean, India-UK relations obviously are historical. And since 2004, we also had strategic partnership. But in the last few years, since Brexit, I think the economic and the strategic priorities of both the countries have converged, which has resulted into not just only comprehensive strategic partnership, and now we have also signed this, the trade deal, which is going to be implemented from next year.
Yeah.
This deal is a game changer in a sense that, we have also, it's also very bold from the India's point of view. We have also crossed many traditional red lines. We have also opened some of the areas, particularly, automobile sector, public procurement. At the same time, India's almost more than 99% of products would immediately, once the deal is in force, will start entering the British market. So, both the governments are quite bullish about this. Already if you look at the goods and services trade between India and the UK, this is more than 55 billion US dollars.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, as a result of this, and if you look at all other, in fact, in the last 10, 15, 20 years, the major financial and technical collaborations of Indian companies, a large number of them also with the British companies. And UK is also really looking forward because this is going to be a third largest economy in the next few years.
Yes.
And they feel that they are also quite competitive in many of the services which India would need. So they are looking for large market. That's why this is the biggest, perhaps, the business delegation he is leading.
Right.
I mean, the focus at this point of time looks clearly that how do really British businesses and Indian businesses can take advantage from the trade deal which both the countries have really signed. And they would really like to, meet each other, try to see where things, where possibilities are. And the focus is on business. That's why, in fact, it's happening in Mumbai, which is a business center.
Yeah.
So the financial
Right.
happening there.
Right, definitely. Sir, you just talked about the biggest delegation. I would like to come back to that point. UK PM is here with a biggest delegation, perhaps, of over 100 people, 125. They are CEOs, representatives from British institutes, industry groups, and of course, a lot of things on the agenda. So how do you look at it? Keeping in perspective the fact that it's the biggest delegation with UK PM. 125 people.
There are two or three things. One, of course, is clear business. How do you really take advantage? And then the big business delegation, not just businesses. You also have the vice chancellors of many universities, because a lot of Indian students also go to UK. And particularly now, the way the global geopolitics is happening, and India is also, having difficulties now to finalize the trade deal with the United States. And UK was, in fact, the first which they did trade deal with the United States. So they also, and in fact, India is also looking, in fact, many of the exports which might be affected by the, immediate tariffs from the United States. And many of our students, those who are going earlier to study in the United States in large numbers, because of certain visa difficulties, they are also looking for new universities, new places. And Europe, and particularly the United Kingdom, has always been, number one in that sense within Europe, where Indian would like to send their children, and Indian and all the old traditional linkages with the, the British educational institutions. That's why a lot of, British vice chancellor of many universities are also within this delegation. So there are many aspects, and this is also the time to show that yes, it's not just only United States, which is of course the largest economy in the world, but there are many ways that countries can really work together. And this particular trade deal is also very important both for India, so for the UK, because after Brexit, still we are negotiating with the European Union as far as the trade deal is concerned.
Right.
They were also when they were part of the European Union since 2007, they were also negotiating with India. But now since 2022, when the separate negotiation with the UK was put on fast track, so we are able to kind of conclude this deal. So this also kind of a political message, and also of course very good economic opportunities. But when Prime Minister was in UK in July when they finalized this deal, and we also signed many other things. I mean, there is also defense and industrial roadmap. Then we also have the Vision 2035. So the many of the things are lined up apart from trade and economics and investment. And one area where we have been talking for last many years, particularly how do we really build our defense partnership, particularly defense industrial partnerships. Now the roadmap is there, but now many things need to happen on that front. And obviously this FTA or trade and economic partnership agreement, which given a new momentum, because the many deadlines were set when the many. Another thing also is very interesting that there has been a lot of political changes in the last few years in UK. I mean, we had now the Labour government. We earlier had conservatives, and in the last 5-6 years, we have many prime ministers have changed. Despite all the political changes in the United Kingdom, still I think both the political parties, and there is a broader consensus to build partnership, economic partnership, which perhaps is also leading.
Right.
Because it also came out earlier where they tilt towards the Indo-Pacific. And in the last few years, Indian foreign policy has also been one of the major issue has been about the discussions about Indo-Pacific, how India is so important within Indo-Pacific. So they have also been looking, India and the UK working together within Indo-Pacific, but in the context of rising and assertive China. But on certain issues, particularly in the Ukraine, there have been certain different perceptions. The way I think the British, the establishment looks at the Ukraine war, and we have certain slightly different perceptions about this. But that has not really stopped us from really
I understand that, sir. I want to ask you, Professor Sachdeva, this is the era of new and modern technologies, and a nation's development is also seen from the fact that how technically advanced the country is, and India and the UK will work together when it comes to technologies of tomorrow. Future technologies, will also deepen collaboration in critical and emerging technologies. How do you see this? What's your assessment of this?
Well, I mean, this is one area, obviously. I mean, we have seen not just only in the defense and other area, we have seen the health sector.
Yeah.
During COVID, how, we both Britain and India, I mean, when we worked together, we were able to produce, millions of those doses of AstraZeneca. So it means, and we are also working in many of the green technologies, because, they also have certain technologies which India, its own green transition, and we can work together in many of those areas. And you look at all those, the critical areas which you mentioned, whether we are talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about quantum, we're talking about all these, green technologies which are going to be the future, or many other areas where, and one is that despite certain difficulties, but I think still many of the British institutions and the universities, they are still quite good in many of those cutting edge technologies. And interestingly, because of our traditional linkages with the British institutions, they also have very strong linkages with the Indian industry, within Indian research institutions, and with the Indian in the universities. So it's very easy to work, and of course in the same language we work. So it's very easy to work together, with the British, technology firms. And this is what they are also looking, because since India is also, in many of the areas, pretty good, particularly, in the IT sector and in many other sectors, which is quite known that, the Indian industry is pretty good. And we also have large workforce. And now when there are difficulties, they are facing in China, there are also difficulties now also, within the United States. So it's a pretty different kind of environment in which they are looking that, there is a possibility that India and UK can really work together.
Definitely. And this visit by the UK PM will certainly strengthen the bond between both the countries, certainly. Thank you so much for joining in on DD India NewsHour. Thank you so much again. In Himachal Pradesh, a tragic bus accident has claimed the lives of 16 people, while 2 others have been injured in Bilaspur district. The incident happened on Tuesday evening when a private bus was completely buried under debris after heavy rocks and mud slid down from the hillside. The accident resulted in the deaths of 16 people, including the driver. 2 children were rescued by relief and rescue teams and admitted to AIIMS Bilaspur for treatment. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu expressed deep sorrow over the incident and announced an ex gratia of 400,000 rupees to each of the kin of the deceased.
पिछली रात बिलासपुर में बड़ी दुखद घटना हुई। जो भी डिजीज्ड है, जो हमें छोड़कर चले गए हैं, उनको 4 लाख रुपया मुआवजा देने की बात कही है। मुआवजा से उन घावों को नहीं भरा जाता, लेकिन एक आर्थिक सहायता के रूप में ये पैसा उनको दिया जा रहा है।
Some international updates now. Outgoing French Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu, who has been tasked with budget talks, said on Wednesday that fresh elections were looking less likely, with parties showing a desire to approve a budget by the end of the year. Lecornu met on Tuesday with centrist and right-wing parties in the parliament, along with parliamentary leaders, and was to hold talks with the left on Wednesday morning. He added he will meet President Emmanuel Macron later on Wednesday to discuss the results of his talks with political parties.
I have good reason to tell you that among the positive developments, all the consultations I have had with the President of the National Assembly, with the President of the Senate, and with all the political groups show a shared will to ensure that France has a budget before December 31 of this year.
California has officially declared Diwali as a state holiday, becoming the third US state to recognize the Festival of Lights. California governor announced he has signed the bill into law, which will take effect from January 1st, 2026. The legislation allows public schools and community colleges to close, state employees to take the day off, and students to have off from school to observe Diwali. The Indian diaspora in California, home to the largest Indian American population in the US, warmly thanked the governor, praising the move as a significant step in acknowledging and celebrating the state's cultural diversity. Indian holy city of Ayodhya is all set to celebrate Deepotsav 2025 from October 18 to 20, with over 2.6 million diyas to be lit along the Saryu River, aiming for a Guinness World Record. The festival will feature a drone show, light and sound display, and a multimedia show narrating Lord Ram's return. You're watching DD India NewsHour. Time now for sport, and the unbeaten Indian women's cricket team will take on South Africa in group stage of the ongoing ICC Women's ODI World Cup on Thursday. In their last match, Aleen Deol and Richa Ghosh's batting blitz, along with Kriti Gaur's 3-wicket haul, proved how balanced the Indian team is. After crushing New Zealand in their recent encounter, thanks to Tasmin Britt's ton, South Africa have also found their rhythm. India sits comfortably at the second spot in the points table with 2 consecutive victories. Struggling Pakistan will face the invincible Australia in the ICC Women's ODI World Cup on Wednesday. Defending champions Australia hold a commanding 16-0 head-to-head record over Pakistan in ODIs. Having lost 2 consecutive matches, Pakistan face an uphill task to find a win against an Australian batting juggernaut. Australia beat New Zealand by 89 runs in their opening game. Their second match with Sri Lanka was abandoned due to rain. Australia will look to gain momentum from this game before they face hosts India in a blockbuster match on Sunday. The International Cricket Council has announced the list of nominees for the Player of the Month award for September 2025. In the men's category, Abhishek Sharma and Kuldeep Yadav have been nominated from India. Abhishek Sharma was named Player of the Tournament during the Asia Cup, where India lifted the trophy. On the other hand, Kuldeep Yadav emerged as the leading wicket taker at the Asia Cup with 17 scalps. In the women's category, 3 high-class batters from India, Pakistan and South Africa have been nominated for the award. From India, Smriti Mandhana has been nominated for her super performance in a series against Australia. From South Africa, Tasmin Britt was nominated. Britt has been the top contributor for Proteas in the ongoing Women's World Cup as well. And India's young shuttlers Anmol Kharb and Tanya progressed to women's singles second round at the Arctic Open badminton tournament on Tuesday. Anmol produced a gritty show to edge out, in fact, Lin Haisang T of Chinese Taipei in 3-game marathon. Anmol will next face Wen Chi Su of Chinese Taipei. On the other hand, Tanya notched up a win over Huang Qingping. She has set up a second round clash with Ratchanok Intanon of Thailand. In mixed doubles, Dhruv Kapila and Tanisha Crasto outplayed France's Lucas Renoir and Camille in just 23 minutes to enter the second round. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Prasar Bharati from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.